Construction is leading personal insolvencies. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because the personal insolvency data has just come out from the Australian Financial Security Authority, and, well, the construction sector is leading it. It's not really something that is too surprising. Construction is a real tough game. I know a lot of people think the builders make huge margins and big dollars. A lot of people will be shocked, actually, how tight it can be. And when you look at it, you look at just the risk, the liability, and all the pain that you have to deal with in construction, I can see why some people don't want to do it. I can completely understand why I'm talking to a guy in Bunnings at the painting sector saying, yeah, he used to have a painting business, but he gave it up just to be a retail guy because it's so much easier. It all has to do with stress as well. And now with the spectacular or potential collapse of ProBuild, there may be a whole lot of subbies that are at the wall. What happens is, in the construction sector, when you're working on a project, you'll often do the work and then get paid sometimes months later. Sometimes 60-day terms, 90-day terms, 120-day terms. Or sometimes they'll try and do the good old illegal paid-when-paid bullshit and just string you on. Some of the big builders are known to just string on people, to not pay them, or pay them, completely ignore your contract that you've signed and just pay them when they're going to pay you. I've been through it, I've dealt with it. It's quite frustrating, and it's very stressful as a small business owner. For us, well, the biggest costs are all of our staffing, wage cost, all of those things. It's not too bad compared to a subby who has to pay for all the materials themselves and go and put it in. So you've got to feel sorry for them. So this is why they could be at the edge. And, you know, I'm not surprised we're seeing them in insolvency. So let's have a look through this. So this is the fortnightly statistics on personal insolvencies in Australia. We understand the economic impact of COVID-19. This is from the 7th of February until the 20th of February 2022, so 4 days old. So 328 people entered into personal insolvency, where we could identify the industry they worked in. The most common industries were construction, transport, postal and warehousing, healthcare, and social assistance. Over this period, 75 of these people were involved in a business. The most common industries were construction, transport, warehousing, administrative, and support services. The number of people who entered into a new personal insolvency fell from 370 between the 20th of January and 6th of February to 328 from the 7th to the 20th. Over the same period, the number of businesses fell from 81 to 75. So that's good. If less businesses are going under, less businesses are getting trouble, that's good. I remember when money was being splashed out everywhere, the insolvency rate just plummeted, the number of businesses that were going insolvent. Now, this has to happen. You need to have some creative destruction in an economy. Businesses are going to go under. People need to learn some harsh lessons. It's sad, but it's necessary. It creates new opportunities. And sometimes going through some real tough financial times or making some stupid decisions, it's the lesson that someone needs to turn their life around. It could be the most important thing that's happened to them. One thing, if you're going through something like this, speaking from someone who's gone through some very tough financial times myself, it gets better. You just have to deal with it and put things into perspective. What's really important in your life? It's just money. Comes and goes. It's not the secret to having a happy and fulfilling life. But sadly, some people don't learn that until they go through some hard times. So don't do anything stupid, guys. And I'm sure there's many of you in the comments who have been through tough times in business that can share some reassuring comments that it gets better in the end. You've got to get through it. The number of new bankruptcies rose from 248 between the 24th of January and the 6th of February to 261 between the 7th of February and the 20th of February. Over the same period, debt agreements and personal insolvencies fell from 120 to 65. Between the 7th of Feb and the 20th of Feb, there were 11 new temporary debt protections. Personal insolvency statistics for bankruptcies, debt agreements, and personal agreements. So you can go to their website and get this data. And I've looked at the data, and what we'll do is we'll look at which state is the hottest for personal insolvencies, sadly. So they include people who've traded as a sole trader, including as a contractor, subcontractor, or similar, or been involved in a partnership, and or been a director, secretary, or held management role in a company. We've asked for this information for the last 5 years in relation to bankruptcy and personal insolvency agreements, and for the last 2 years to debt agreements. For company insolvencies, please see the ASIC. Now, what you can do is you can get the statistics here, everyone, and we can see the numbers in good old Excel. And you can have a look at it. And what I've done is, if we have a look here, I've looked at the totals for each state. And as you can see, Queensland is hot. We've got 108 of all of them. Then you've got Victoria, New South Wales, then Victoria, then WA, then South Australia, Tassie, Northern Territory, and how much does the ACT have? The ACT, they've got one. So one. So it's good to be in the Australian Capital Territory. So you've got this is the retail trade. So and we're looking at Queensland here, 13. Transport, postal and warehousing, 12. Warehousing was 0. Other services, 8. Remunerative, let's have a look. I want to find, where's construction? Because that's the one that's going to be the one we need to watch. Food services, 6. Administration and support, 11. Here we go, construction, 19. And if you go back, what we can do is we can just chart. Let's try and do. You know what? Let's old-fashioned this. We'll just let's have a look at this change over time. Everyone, I know there must be ways you can select this and do it easier, but you know what? Sometimes this is just the best way to do it. We'll have a look here. Come on, recommend a chart to me. Okay, so we'll have a look here. We can see here over time. And let's add a trend line. I want a trend line. Give me a trend line. Okay, so it's trending down. So back in 2019, you can see that we're sitting up at 30, 35. And remember, this is just construction insolvencies in Queensland. And it's kind of dipped down, 2010, 2011. And yeah, at the moment we're leading right now. It's getting up there. But still, we're not at the levels of where it was at 2019. But with everything we're seeing in the media, guys, it's certainly something to keep aware of. Let's have a bit of a talk. Now, I think no one's going to be surprised with this. You're going to have, with the big boys going under, it's going to ripple through to a lot of smaller businesses. The best advice I can give you, if you're suffering through this, find a way to get through it. Think of your own. Business can always be restarted. Material possessions can always be rebought. Don't do anything drastic or stupid. If you've got a friend who you know who might be in trouble, reach out to them. They may be negative. You don't want to be around them. They may be a bit bitter and pissed off, but maybe they just need someone to talk to. Maybe they need to vent. Or maybe have a few drinks with a mate or go for a good bushwalk or something. Because you don't want to hear. Nothing's worse than hearing the stories of like some tradie, doing something stupid or offering himself because, his business has lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, this type of stuff, or he's on the verge of bankruptcy. You can always build back. It's not worth it. That's what worries me more about all of this stuff. Money, it'll come and go. Doesn't matter. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you're a fan of the channel and enjoy the content I put together here, usually happier news, not depressing. I don't want to finish on depressing bloody things, but it's part of life. Study stoicism. You can support us financially by joining us on YouTube or Patreon. You can sign up for SelfWealth or Stake for the share trades, use Amazon, eBay, or Independent Reserve and AussieBroadband with our referral links, or buy our merch from HeiseSays. And I want to point you towards the recent video I did about ProBuild on the verge of collapse. I'm glad I'm not working with them. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Good coffee.